Buddhism is a world religion founded by the Buddha in ancient India. Buddhists seek wisdom, meaning, inner peace, and freedom from greed, hatred, and ignorance. Mutually sustaining life, a Buddhist call to a troubled world.
For one who has completed the journey, for one who is free from sorrow, for one who is free from all fetters, there are no anxieties.
Hi, I trust you're having a good day, and it's our hope that you will find something worthwhile in this program to add further meaning to your day and beyond. Let's begin by discussing the fourth of the four marks of existence, which is nirvana is peaceful and tranquil, or rephrase, life can be great. To review the first three of the four marks of existence, rephrased in colloquial terms are: 1. Life is a bumpy road. 2. Life is interdependent. And 3. Life is impermanent. This fourth mark, nirvana is peaceful and tranquil, or life can be great, differs from the first three as it refers to the realm of awakening. It is the state attained by Shakyamuni Buddha when he realized awakening under the Bodhi tree at the age of 35. This transformed him as the Buddha, which literally means the awakened one. And all Buddhists ever since have regarded it as their cherished goal. Hence, awakening is the essence of the Buddhist religion. Here, this awakening is referred to as nirvana is peaceful and tranquil. Nirvana literally means blown out, or pointing to the state where one's fire of greed, hatred, and ignorance is extinguished. And such a state is indeed peaceful and tranquil. It should be pointed out that Buddhism has always recognized various stages of awakening, with Shakyamuni Buddha as having realized the ultimate stage. According to one standard teaching, there are 4 stages of awakening. At each stage, the fetters or blind passions such as greed, hatred, and ignorance are gradually extinguished. At the first stage, a person extinguishes 3 fetters, which are: 1. The false view that sees the self as having a separate and unconnected existence. 2. Any doubt about the Buddhist teachings and practices as having any efficacy. And 3rd, the belief that rituals and ethical actions alone can lead to awakening. At the second stage, the fetters of greed and hatred weaken. At the third stage, these fetters are extinguished. And at the fourth or final stage of awakening, all other fetters are extinguished, which include self-pride. Pride is very subtle and is the most tenacious of the fetters to extinguish. Some of you may now be feeling quite intimidated by what is expected for Buddhist awakening, saying to yourself, "No way, I can't do that." However, the first stage is within the reach of many people who make a serious and conscientious effort. Plus, even if the first stage is not reached, any sincere effort to practice and understand the teachings can make a huge positive difference in your life. That has been the case for millions of ordinary people throughout the centuries. I would like to share with you a description of an awakened person as given to us by Jack Engler in a recent issue of Tricycle, a Buddhist Review, an informative quarterly Buddhist magazine published in New York. The awakened person is an Indian woman named Dipa Ma, who lived and taught in Calcutta, India. Jack, an American, describes Dipa Ma, who served as his teacher, as follows. Dipa Ma was without any of the outward trappings or symbols of recognized teachers. Just a tiny woman in a tiny room in an impoverished neighborhood of old Calcutta, unknown outside her circle of friends and students, teaching in the traditional Indian way at home all day, every day, for anyone who wanted to come by and talk about Dharma. Dipa Ma is impressive, for she was a laywoman and teacher in a tradition where virtually all of the teachers had been monks. Further, she was a widow in a society where widows normally stay confined to home. She overcame extreme personal difficulties. For instance, when she turned 41, her loving husband suddenly died. She had experienced 2 stillbirths and was enduring a number of life-threatening physical ailments, and the doctors told her she would die soon. Out of desperation, she began to practice Buddhism. Overcoming all of these obstacles, Dipa Ma had gone very far in her practice and is considered to have achieved the higher stages of awakening described earlier. Once, Jack told Dipa Ma that he felt that awakened state seemed kind of gray and dull. For once a person eliminated desire, anger, and passion, there seemed to be no juice. Jack asked, "Where is the pizzazz? Where is the chutzpah?" Dipa Ma immediately broke out laughing and responded, "Oh, you don't understand. Life was dull and boring before. Always the same routine, nothing new. Once you get rid of all that stale stuff you've been carrying around, every moment is fresh and new, interesting and alive. Now, everything has zest and taste. No 2 moments are ever the same." And her words are supported by the traditional explanation of the qualities of an awakened mind, which are joy, generosity, compassion, curiosity, truthfulness, serenity, equanimity, wakefulness, one-pointedness, and impeccability. There is definitely no lack of pizzazz or chutzpah here. Dipa Ma used to worry a lot about the future. For example, how she would live, what would happen to her, and how she would take care of her daughter. She also felt enormous suffering over the sudden death of her husband. She was burning day and night with grief. However, the burning grief cooled down and left her, and she was able to accept the truth that wherever there is birth, there is death. As for desire, Dipa Ma made a distinction between sense pleasure and sense desire. Sense pleasure, like pain, is part of the normal human experience. Sense desire, on the other hand, creates suffering. It is the grasping at pleasure and the avoidance of pain. What is called for, however, is for laypersons to train themselves and not to go to the extremes or cling to these sense pleasures. Otherwise, they will turn into sense desires, thereby leading to unnecessary suffering. One such example is sexuality. It can be the most satisfying and precious act within a loving, committed relationship, but can wreak havoc in the relationship when trust is broken, as sexuality turns, in Dipa Ma's words, from sense pleasure into sense desire in an act of adultery. In terms of relationships, Dipa Ma no longer divided and categorized people, saying to herself, "These are my friends and they are not." She saw that there was much attachment in such dichotomy, and in turn felt a loving kindness toward everyone. She still enjoyed being around people who talked about the teachings, the mind, or the spiritual life, and wanted to help if she felt she could. However, she had no interest in ordinary or useless talk or going somewhere to visit someone just to visit. She never felt lonely when she was alone. Dipa Ma felt that her practice of Buddhism made her more certain of her responsibilities toward her family. She became more confident as a mother. For example, she was asked to stay in Burma to serve as a meditation teacher, but decided to return to India in order that her daughter would not lose touch with her Indian roots. Dipa Ma's life changed greatly as a result of her practice, for before she was attached to everything. She wanted to do so much. Now she felt free, not bound. She no longer wanted anything for herself. In her words, "I'm living. That's all. That's enough." Also for her, there was nothing ultimately desirable or to cling to in this world. However, she felt that we can make good use of everything in this world, for all experiences can be used for personal learning, betterment, and for helping others. Dipa Ma said that she was no longer afraid of death. She understood that dying is natural and is part and parcel of life. So you might ask, what is there for her to live for? Well, Dipa Ma said that she would like to be completely free from her attachments and fetters, and so would continue to practice to cultivate herself. And she would also share her wisdom and compassion freely with anyone who seeks awakening. This remarkable human being and Buddhist teacher, Dipa Ma, certainly exemplifies today's opening passage. For one who has completed the journey, for one who is free from sorrow, for one who is free from all fetters, there are no anxieties. In our next show, Professor Jidong Chen, representing the Chinese Buddhist tradition, will be back with us as we explore the qualities of awakened persons who are within our midst.
We at Bukkyo Dendo Kyokai pursue peace and happiness for people around the world. We have published the Buddhist teachings into 41 languages and donated our publication to hotels and other facilities in 55 countries. We would like to share the Buddhist teachings with people around the world. That's our mission. Visit our website for more information